Okay. There's two different things we have coming up over here. We have obviously Parshas Bamidbar, the first of the new Sefer, Bamidbar. And then we have Shavuos coming up on Tuesday night. I don't think there's tons of connection, but there's an interesting halacha in Shulchan Aruch that says there are a lot of rules in how we make a calendar. For instance, we spoke about this before, like Ba'omer is always the same day as, anyone know? As which day? As Purim. Like Ba'omer and Purim are always going to be the first day. There's another rule that in order to celebrate Shavuos, we have to, the Mechaber in Shulchan Aruch talks about it, you have to lay in Parshas Bamidbar before we begin Shavuos. So it seems like there's some sort of connection. There's many different reasons why, but there must be a connection between the Parsha of Bamidbar and before Shavuos that you can't start Shavuos until we lay in Bamidbar. So normally it's the week before. Sometimes it could come out 2 weeks before, but it's always going to be laying before. So there's got to be a connection. Let's try to think about it. So let's talk about Parsha Bamidbar a little bit. We talk about two things. At the beginning of the Parsha, it says, Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, go count all of Klal Yisrael, go count all the Shvatim. We start counting, and the Torah uses a very interesting word. It says, Leveis Avaisam, you should count their families, B'mispar, with their numbers, and Shemers, and their names. It means you should count them with their numbers and their names. What does that mean? I'll explain to you with a little bit of a mashal. If you have a wall, and a wall, in order to build this wall, we need 20 bricks. So you pile up 20 bricks. There's no identity, personal identity to brick 1, brick 2, brick 3. What are you? You're a group of 20 bricks. If you don't have one brick, whether it's 15 that's missing or brick 13, no matter what, you don't have a wall. Because this wall requires 20 bricks. You don't have your 20 bricks, you don't have a wall. But there's no personal identity to your bricks. But when it talks about, that's a mispar, that's a number. But if we want to talk about individuals, then you have shemus, then you have names. So when we talk about a shevet, we have a shevet. There's a total number, a couple 100,000. Let's say one shevet, it's 150,000. There's no personal identity to each person, but there's a shevet of Dan that has 150. And then there's a personal, each person that has his own name. There's Maishi, there's Yankee, there's David, right? We find in a person counts a family, we don't always say you have a family of 6 kids. You mention their names because everyone is individual, everyone's personal. So we see there's a klalius, there's a number, there's a sikum, a total number, and then there's a personal number that each person has. And then we go on. We go on in the parsha, and it talks about Klal Yisrael traveling. We traveled, and it was a very majestic way how we used to travel. That we had all the things from the Mishkan, the Kalim of the Mishkan were in the middle, and in the front we had Shevet Yehuda, in the back we had Shevet Dan, and on the right we had all the Shvatim had different places. And Pi Ruach HaKodesh, Hashem told Yaakov Avinu really how to set it up, where everyone should travel, and who should be on the right, who should be on the left, who should be in the front, who should be in the back, who should be right in the middle, and that's how we traveled. Everyone had a specific spot. You couldn't go, if a person from Shevet Dan decided, hey, today I don't want to be part of Dan, I'm jumping over to Shimon, it didn't work. You couldn't travel like that. We had to travel, everyone was in their spot. Not only every single family, not only every Shevet, that Shevet Zvulun was in front, in Shevet Zvulun there were families, and this family had to be in over here, in this part. It was very meticulous where everybody had to be when it comes to the Degalim. And it's very interesting, the Medrash explains that when the Goyim used to look at us traveling, they saw us traveling, they used to have a taiva, misavim, they had taivas to join Klal Yisrael. They said, we want to be able to travel like this. Look how beautiful it is when Klal Yisrael is traveling. You guys look amazing, it's majestic, it's awesome. We want to join Klal Yisrael, and they were jealous of us, that we had this beautiful way of traveling, these Degalim, these flags that we used to travel with, and they were very jealous of that. The question is, what were they so jealous of? What was beautiful? I think maybe that when everyone does their job, and you have Shevet Dan doing their job in the back, and you have Yehuda and Sachar and Zvulun in the front doing what they're supposed to be doing, traveling correctly, not just as a Shevet. Every individual in Shevet Yehuda was in his proper spot, and they were traveling. It looked awesome. It was working. Everything, the mechanics were working, and we were traveling. It looked beautiful. But in order for it to look beautiful, and the Ummah Sa'il and the nations of the world to look at us and say, we're jealous of that, it required every individual to do what he was supposed to do, and which created a shevet that was doing what it was supposed to do. And when we had the 12 Shvatim doing that, it looked awesome. That's Parshas Bamidbar. What does that have to do with Shavuos? I'm thinking like this. We know Shavuos is the day of the Torah was given to us. Yom Shenitna B'Torah. The Torah was given to us on Shavuos, and it was given to, who was it given to? Klal Yisrael. We know that we had to come one. We had a tremendous amount of achdos, and we came one. And it was given to all of us. It wasn't just given to me, it was given to you, it was given to every single person in this room, and every person part of Klal Yisrael was given the Torah. It was not a personal gift. There was a klalius. And that is the kabalas Torah we celebrate. We're so happy we accepted the Torah. But there's another tremendous thing about Shavuos that is for each and every single one of us. What is that? Not only was the Torah given to Klal Yisrael, each and every one of us have our own little portion of Torah, our own little chelik in the Torah that was given to you. And your chelik was given to you, it wasn't given to somebody else. We all have our individual portion, our own. Where do we say this? We say, we daven to Hashem that we should understand our chelik in the Torah. And I even saw a gain, which is interesting, that says that we all know that we have where that the Malach comes and slaps us on our lip, and we forget all the Torah we learned in our womb, and there's a myth that says that that's why we have a bump. I don't think that's true, but what is that Torah that we learned? The Gaon says you don't learn Kol HaTorah Kula. It's not what they taught you in third grade, that you learn Bereshis Nayach. You learn your Chelik and Torah. Exactly what you were supposed to come and be Mechadash. And I want to explain what that means, your Chelik and Torah. You're never going to be on the side of the Gemara, guys. We're not reprinting Shas. It's not going to be Rashi, Tosfos, and Meir Katz's shot in the Gemara. It's not going to be in the Gemara ever. What does your Chelik and Torah mean? Your Chelik and Torah is that when you understand a Rashi clearly, and you understand, or you could explain to somebody else an explanation, or you understand the Gemara clearly, that's your Chelik and Torah. It's not when you can some people it's more. Maybe they put out a sefer, maybe they come up with more, but it's also understanding things clearly, putting it a little kayach to understand, oh, that's what the pasuk means. That's maybe what the Gemara is saying. That's your portion in Torah. That's exactly what was given to you in your mother's stomach. So what does that have to do with us? On Shavuos, we celebrate two things. Of course, it was the Yom Shenitna B'Torah, that everybody was given the Torah, Gans Klal Yisrael, but there was another chelik that was given to who? It was given to you. And only you got that little chelik. And we have to understand that kabalas Torah of Klal Yisrael is only a simcha, that we all accepted the Torah when every single one of us work on getting our little chelik in Torah. When we work on getting our all chelik in Torah, and everybody in this room does, then we have a day that we at Klal Yisrael accepted the Torah. So perhaps that's the connection between Klal Yisrael traveling, and Shavuos. When the Ummah Yisrael, nations of the world, look at us traveling, it's only beautiful when everybody does what they're supposed to be doing, and Shevet Dan as a whole is traveling correctly. If they're not in the right spot, it doesn't look beautiful anymore. Kabbalas Torah is the same thing. Klal Yisrael accepted the Torah, but only when every single one of us accept what we want, that we want to grow a little bit in our Torah, and we're going to, Mitzvah Hashem, accept it on Tuesday, on Wednesday morning, and we want to gain that little portion of Torah, then it's a Kabbalas Torah, it's a real Yontiv of Shavuos. Perhaps that's the connection, what we have to learn from the traveling before the Yontiv of Shavuos, why it has to be first. Guys, have a good Shabbos.